Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and dear friends, it is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today, speaking on a subject that is close to the heart of many. The journey of walking with the divine presence in our lives. Now, we all know that life is a journey of challenges, choices, and opportunities. At times, the path ahead may seem unclear, or the weight of the world may feel unbearable. But even in those moments of doubt, there exists a guiding force, a constant companion, leading us through the twists and turns, through the valleys and hills of our existence. Walking with the divine presence brings clarity, peace, and direction in life's journey. Life, by its very nature, is full of twists and turns, challenges and unknowns. Each day presents new opportunities and hurdles. Each moment carries the potential for growth or struggle. In the midst of this ever-changing landscape, the ability to walk with a guiding presence becomes a powerful tool. It is this divine presence that provides the clarity we need to see beyond the surface level of things and truly understand our purpose. When we align ourselves with this force, it illuminates our path and enables us to navigate the complexity of life with a sense of direction and peace that transcends the ordinary. The importance of clarity cannot be overstated. In a world full of distractions, voices, and opinions, it is easy to lose sight of our true purpose. We become caught up in external expectations, societal pressures, and the constant pull of daily responsibilities. We may find ourselves overwhelmed and uncertain about what direction to take next. Yet when we choose to walk with the divine, we invite clarity into our lives. This clarity is not a fleeting moment of insight, but a deep knowing that resonates with our soul, guiding our decisions and actions in alignment with a higher calling. In moments of confusion or indecision, this presence offers us the quiet wisdom that allows us to see beyond our immediate circumstances. It brings us back to our center, reminding us of what truly matters and helping us discern between what is essential and what is merely noise. The divine presence helps us to cut through the fog of uncertainty, to focus on what is most important, and to move forward with purpose. It allows us to trust in the journey even when the road ahead is unclear. Clarity in this sense is not about having all the answers immediately, but about having the faith to take each step with confidence, knowing that the next one will become clear in due time. This clarity also brings a sense of peace, a peace that surpasses the understanding of the world around us. The peace that comes from walking with the divine is not a passive or complacent state. Rather, it is a deep inner calm that allows us to face the chaos of life with steadiness. It is the peace of knowing that regardless of external circumstances, we are anchored in something greater than ourselves. Higher. This peace gives us the courage to face adversity without fear, to take risks without hesitation, and to embrace the unknown with trust. When we are walking with a divine presence, we do not walk in fear of what might come because we know we are never truly alone. We are guided and supported every step of the way. The peace that comes from walking with the divine also has the power to heal. It heals the wounds we carry from the past, the anxieties that grip us, and the doubts that cloud our minds. It softens the hardness of our hearts, enabling us to forgive, to love, and to embrace others with compassion. In the presence of this peace, we are reminded that we are not defined by our failures, our struggles, or our mistakes. Instead, we are defined by the love and grace that surround us, by the potential for growth and transformation that resides within us. This peace is a reminder that no matter what we face, there is always a way forward. It is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of assurance and hope in the midst of it. In addition to clarity and peace, walking with the divine presence provides direction. Life often presents us with so many choices, some of which may seem equally valid, that it can become overwhelming to decide which path to take. Without a sense of direction, we may drift aimlessly, unsure where we are going or why. The divine presence offers a steady hand, leading us toward the path that is meant for us. It brings us in alignment with our true purpose, showing us where we need to go, what we need to do, and how we can best contribute to the world around us. This direction is not necessarily about a clear, mapped-out future that reveals every step we must take. Instead, it is about knowing the next right step, trusting that as we move forward, the next part of the journey will unfold naturally. The divine presence helps us discern what is aligned with our true nature and our deeper calling, guiding us to make choices that reflect our highest self. This sense of direction is not driven by external validation or the pressure to conform to others' expectations, but is rooted in an inner knowing of what feels true and right for us. When we walk with the divine, we begin to see that each decision we make is part of a larger tapestry. Each step we take, no matter how small, contributes to the unfolding of our life's purpose. Sometimes the path is not as straightforward as we would like it to be, and we may face detours or obstacles along the way. Yet the presence we walk with ensures that even when we veer off course, there is always a way back. This direction is not about perfection, it is about progress, growth, and learning as we go. Even when we stumble or lose our way, the divine presence gently redirects, helping us to see that the mistakes we make are simply part of the process. Moreover, walking with the divine presence brings a sense of alignment with a greater plan, a plan that transcends our limited understanding. We begin to see that our lives are not random or meaningless, but are part of a grand design. This awareness brings a deep sense of peace and purpose, knowing that we are playing our part in a story much larger than ourselves. It encourages us to trust the timing of our lives, to be patient with the unfolding of events, and to remain faithful to the path that has been laid before us. The clarity, peace, and direction that come from walking with the divine presence are transformative. They shift our perspective on life, helping us to see beyond our immediate concerns and to focus on what truly matters. They empower us to live with intention and purpose, making choices that align with our highest good. They remind us that we are never truly alone, that we are always supported, and that even in the midst of uncertainty, we are walking toward a future filled with hope, love, and meaning. When we embrace this journey, we realize that it is not about the destination, but about the path itself. It is about how we walk with faith and trust, knowing that every step is guided, every moment is filled with potential, and every challenge is an opportunity for growth. In this way, walking with the divine presence transforms our entire approach to life, allowing us to live with clarity, peace, and direction no matter where the journey takes us. Challenges and hardships are part of the path, but with trust, we find strength and grace to overcome them. Life in all its beauty and complexity is not without its obstacles. From personal struggles to external circumstances, we all face times of difficulty that test our limits. These moments of hardship, though uncomfortable and sometimes painful, are an inherent part of the journey. They shape who we are, challenge our beliefs, and offer us opportunities for growth. Yet in the midst of these challenges, we are not left to face them alone. It is in trusting the divine presence that we find the strength, grace, and resilience to move forward, even when the road seems impassable. The path of life is rarely a straight line, and the challenges we face often come without warning. One day everything may seem perfectly in order, and the next we find ourselves confronted with a difficult decision, an unexpected loss, or a situation that feels beyond our control. It is in these moments that the divine presence calls us to trust, not in our own ability to manage the situation, but in the assurance that we are being supported by something greater than ourselves. Trust in this sense is not about knowing the outcome of our challenges, but about surrendering to the process, allowing ourselves to lean on the divine presence and the strength that it provides. Trusting in the divine presence does not mean that we are promised an easy way out of our challenges. Rather, it means that we are given the courage and the wisdom to face them head on. It is about finding peace even in the storm, knowing that the difficulties we encounter do not define us. The presence that walks with us does not remove the pain or erase the struggles, but it gives us the tools to navigate them with grace and resilience. When we trust in this presence, we are better equipped to handle adversity, for we know that we are not facing it alone. The divine presence becomes our rock, our steady anchor in times of turbulence, giving us the strength to endure and the grace to rise above our circumstances. In times of hardship, it is easy to feel overwhelmed, isolated, or powerless. We may question why these challenges have come our way and wonder how we will ever make it through. Yet it is precisely in these moments of vulnerability that we are invited to trust more deeply. When we let go of our need to control the outcome and surrender to the divine, we create space for grace in our lives. Grace is not something that we can earn or manufacture on our own. It is a gift that comes when we trust, when we let go of the burden of trying to solve everything ourselves and allow ourselves to be carried by the divine presence. This grace does not take away the difficulty, but it softens the experience, offering us the peace we need to endure. Strength, too, emerges in the most unexpected places when we trust in the divine presence. Often we do not realize the depths of our own resilience until we are faced with a challenge that pushes us to our limits. In these moments, the divine presence does not simply give us the strength to push through. It helps us to discover strength within ourselves that we did not know we possessed. We learn that we are capable of more than we thought, that we can endure hardships with a quiet courage, and that we can emerge from difficulties stronger than we were before. Trusting in the divine presence gives us the strength to continue moving forward, even when the road seems impossibly long or the weight of our burdens feels too heavy to carry. It reminds us that we are equipped to handle what comes our way, not because we are perfect or invincible, but because we are supported by a strength greater than ourselves. This strength is not always manifested in dramatic ways. Often it is the quiet resolve that keeps us going, the small steps we take every day despite the obstacles in our path. It is the perseverance that allows us to get out of bed in the morning when the weight of the world feels unbearable. It is the ability to continue showing up, to continue loving, and to continue moving forward, even when the circumstances seem unchangeable. The divine presence does not always remove the challenge, but it gives us the inner fortitude to face it with dignity and courage. This strength is a gift, a reminder that even in our weakest moments, we are capable of rising again. As we trust and lean into this divine presence, we also learn the profound power of grace. Grace is a divine gift, an unmerited favor that we receive not because we have earned it, but because it is given freely. In moments of struggle, grace enters our lives in subtle ways, lifting us when we are too tired to continue, offering us peace when we are anxious, and providing us with hope when we feel lost. Grace is what allows us to forgive when it seems impossible, to love when we feel unlovable, and to keep moving forward when everything within us wants to give up. It is not something we can control, but it is always present, waiting to be embraced. Grace transforms the way we experience hardship. It helps us to see our challenges not as punishments or burdens, but as opportunities for growth and transformation. When we trust in the divine presence, we begin to see that even in our hardest moments, there is a deeper purpose unfolding. The challenges we face may bring us closer to our true selves, may teach us valuable lessons, and may help us to develop empathy and compassion for others who are going through similar struggles. Grace does not promise an easy life, but it promises that in the midst of our difficulties, we will never be abandoned. We will always have the support we need to overcome the challenges before us. Over time, as we continue to walk with the divine presence, we find that we are not only strengthened by our struggles, but also transformed by them. Each challenge we face adds a layer of depth to our character. Each hardship teaches us something about who we are and who we are becoming. The process is not always comfortable or easy, but it is through the challenges that we grow. Trusting in the divine presence allows us to see that our pain is not wasted, that our struggles are not meaningless, and that through it all we are being shaped into the people we are meant to be. With trust, we find the strength to endure and the grace to emerge from each challenge wiser, more compassionate, and more aligned with our higher purpose. In this way, challenges become stepping stones on our journey, opportunities to deepen our trust and expand our capacity for love and compassion. We learn to embrace hardship not as an obstacle, but as a teacher, guiding us toward a more profound understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And through it all, we are reminded that we are not walking this path alone, that with trust, strength, and grace we can overcome anything life places in our way. As we reflect on the journey of walking with the divine presence, it becomes clear that the path we walk is not a simple or easy one. It is a path filled with both beauty and struggle, moments of joy and hardship, certainty and doubt. Yet in all of these experiences, we are reminded that we are not walking alone. The divine presence offers us clarity, peace, direction, strength, and grace, the very qualities that sustain us through the ups and downs of life. Each moment on this journey is an opportunity to grow, to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and to cultivate a greater trust in the unfolding of our lives. Clarity is the first gift we receive when we walk with the divine. It allows us to see beyond the surface of things and gain a deeper understanding of our true purpose. In the midst of the noise and distractions of life, clarity helps us cut through the confusion, guiding us to what is truly important. It is not always about having all the answers immediately, but rather about having the faith to take each step, trusting that the way will be revealed in time. With clarity, we find the courage to make decisions that are in alignment with our highest self, to move forward with confidence, and to trust that every step, even the uncertain ones, is part of a greater plan. Peace is another precious gift that accompanies us on this journey. Peace does not mean the absence of challenges or difficulties. It means the ability to remain centered and calm even in the midst of life's storms. When we walk with the divine presence, we are anchored in a peace that transcends our circumstances. This peace is not something we can manufacture on our own. It is a gift that flows from our trust in the divine. It is a peace that allows us to face adversity without fear, to endure hardships without losing hope, and to continue moving forward with grace. It is a peace that reminds us that no matter what happens, we are supported and never truly alone. Direction is another essential aspect of walking with the divine. Life is full of choices, and at times it can feel overwhelming to know which path to take. But when we align ourselves with the divine presence, we find a steady compass that points us in the right direction. We are not promised an easy or straightforward path, but we are promised that we will be guided step by step toward our true calling. The divine presence helps us discern what is right for us, and it offers us the wisdom to navigate the complexities of life. With direction, we are empowered to make choices that reflect our highest purpose, to move forward with confidence, and to trust that each decision, no matter how small, is part of the greater unfolding of our lives. Strength is another key aspect of walking with the divine. Life is filled with challenges, and at times it can feel as though we are being tested beyond our limits. Yet in these moments of hardship, we discover the depth of our own resilience. Trusting in the divine presence gives us the strength to face adversity head-on, to persevere through difficulties, and to keep moving forward even when the road ahead seems long and uncertain. This strength is not about pushing through on our own power, but about drawing on the support of the divine presence that walks beside us. It is a strength that allows us to endure, to rise after we fall, and to face the future with courage and confidence. Grace is perhaps one of the most profound gifts we receive on this journey. Grace is not something we can earn or deserve. It is a gift that flows freely from the divine, given to us in times of struggle, pain, and uncertainty. Grace is what allows us to forgive when it seems impossible, to love when we feel unlovable, and to rise again after we have fallen. It is through grace that we find healing, redemption, and transformation. When we trust in the divine presence, we open ourselves to the flow of grace, allowing it to soften our hearts, to heal our wounds, and to guide us toward our highest state of being. Grace is what makes the journey bearable, even in the darkest of times, and it is what allows us to see the beauty and purpose in our struggles. Challenges and hardships are inevitable parts of the human experience. They are not something we can avoid or escape, but rather something we must learn to navigate with trust, strength, and grace. These challenges are the very things that shape us, that push us to grow and evolve, and that bring us closer to our true selves. When we face adversity with trust in the divine presence, we are able to see our struggles not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. We learn to trust the process, to surrender to the divine timing of our lives, and to embrace the lessons that come with each challenge. The challenges we face are not here to break us, but to build us, to refine us, and to help us become the best version of ourselves. As we walk this path, we may encounter moments of doubt, confusion, and fear. There may be times when we feel lost or uncertain about our next steps. But in those moments, we are called to trust even more deeply, to surrender our worries and fears to the divine presence, and to believe that no matter what happens, we are being guided. The road may not always be easy, and the way forward may not always be clear, but with trust, we can navigate the unknown with confidence and grace. We are never alone on this journey, and the divine presence is always there, offering us the clarity, peace, direction, strength, and grace we need to overcome whatever comes our way. In conclusion, walking with the divine presence is not a journey that is free of challenges, but it is a journey that is filled with opportunities for growth, transformation, and deeper connection. When we trust in this presence, we find clarity in moments of confusion, peace in times of turmoil, direction when we are lost, strength in times of weakness, and grace in times of struggle. The divine presence does not promise an easy life, but it promises that we will never walk alone. It provides us with everything we need to overcome the challenges we face and to live a life that is aligned with our highest purpose. As we continue on this journey, let us remember that we are always supported, always guided, and always loved. And with that knowledge, we can face any challenge with confidence, courage, and grace.